Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the Listen podcast. In the house, Miko's here, Akulu's here, Dus is here. Stop pulling my chair, bro. Dus is here. I'm your host. My name is Mac. Oh no, because I'm about to give you a special time, and someone's back. OT is back from from hiding. He's back. We missed you, bro. No, we proper missed you, bro. Yeah. So how was it?
Thanks.
Yeah. So how was it? How's Blantyre, bro?
Oh, Atlanta was crazy, man, crazy. Busy, work, but then that's a good place to be. Miko's. I was at Miko's. Is that your place? Do you know?
I'm taking over soon.
Dude, you should just like trademark your name.
Yeah, I really plan on doing that. I actually did the research, but it's like bare stacks just to trademark and copyright your name.
How much?
It's like $300 a year. You have to do it internationally,
Nice.
so like no one can use that name.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
but
I
as
don't
soon
see anyone in like Switzerland going, I'm opening my place. It's called Miko's. Chan Chan.
Yeah.
Did you look this up on the internet or did you go ask registration?
Nah, I looked up on the internet.
Go ask registration,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Because
It's
I've been to
like-
registration
it's like $5
and I asked
grand,
them.
bro.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like $5,000.
Just go ask them
Who?
and they'll let you know. Internet niggas.
Okay, yo. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm really considering. I'm not coming for them. I heard they make great ice cream. I've never actually had it.
Yeah.
But
Alright, nice.
man, everybody asks, is it your place? But
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
A
people
lot of
actually-
girls like it.
People actually think you own that place?
Yeah, I don't see why he couldn't own it.
Yeah, me
he's a
neither.
big man, huh?
Me neither.
Yeah.
Big man Miko.
All right, yo. I think that we just need to like send out a couple of shout outs to our listeners, man.
Yeah.
We've got like a good growing number of listeners, and just shout out to all you guys wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time you're catching this on a Monday. Yeah. On a Monday or Tuesday or
any day
or
of the
whenever you're catching it, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whenever day it is, just hey, shout out. We have a lot of female listeners for some reason, and that's pretty cool. I'm kind of interested in that. Hey, ladies. Hey. Hi. Oh, shout out to my guys as well, yo. Like, yo, just shout out to all the love. Something interesting happened the other time when Akulu and I went to a British Council dinner. No, it was a dinner at the British High Commissioner's house. Yes. And then we were chilling with the country director for the British Council. And when she introduced us to everyone else, she was like, hey, this is Mac, this is Akulu, they're from Zaluso Arts, and they have a podcast. And I listened to it. So I was like, what? What? Even you listen to that? Yeah, because we just have a lot of fun out here. We talk about some cool stuff. I know Akulu even went in to ask, like, yo, why do you listen? Yeah, we didn't think that, you would be listening. But yeah, and she gave you an answer. So
Yeah. She was like, because I was apologizing that, I'm sorry it's so vulgar. Because these were like the earlier episodes where I think it was pretty raw. So
it's always
I think it's a bit.
Can I say I like enjoyed the previous episode, and part of it because I didn't hear my voice because I don't know if you guys get this as well when you're listening to it and then it's you talking. It's,
You're like,
I'm winning Murian. So yeah.
yeah, I feel you, man.
But sometimes you feel like you're saying some dope stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I
I
hammered
was
that
about
down.
to
I think we all say some dope shit.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah. So what did she say? I was apologizing. It seems pretty vulgar. She's like, no, it's cool. Actually, I like to listen to. It's interesting for a woman to listen to what it's like for just a bunch of guys hanging out. Like, what do guys talk about? And I thought, oh, okay. And I've heard that again from somebody else. They're like, yeah, it's interesting to hear a bunch of interesting guys talking about interesting things. And I was like, oh shit, it's interesting, guys.
Yeah, but so basically we're snitching on our guys. That's what we're doing. We're giving like the ladies a little peek of what it's like chilling with just a bunch of guys chilling.
Consider it an ad.
It's we're showing how it's like to chill with us. I'm sure not everybody's like it's dope.
Flamboyant.
Not,
Interesting.
yeah, not everyone's Zaluso Arts. So yeah, shout out Zaluso Arts. Shout out. It ain't easy being this creative. Yeah. So let's get right into it, guys. Like we're gonna get like straight into it. Last week there was a thing about we talked a little bit about parenting and all the things that go around, all the things that happen, the do's and don'ts, and how just there's no there's not a lot of people that are reading in on it. People are just like freestyling it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting topic that came up out of that. So check this out. Yeah, check this out. So you go to your friend's place to hang out. Let's say I'm 7-year-old me. 7, right? 7, that's a good age.
Yeah.
I'm a 7-year-old kid. I'm coming from school, homework, all of that. And then we're like, yo, let's go play PS at Miko's house, right? And then we go to Miko's house and we're chilling. You know, we're having a good time. We're kids and stuff like that. And we're breaking a rule. What rule could we break in your house, for example?
Nah, not even making too much noise after like 10 on.
All right, so we're making too much noise. No, 10 p.m.
10
right?
p.m. bro.
All right, cool. So we're making too much noise, and then Miko's mom walks in, right?
Yeah.
She walks in and she's pissed. She's pissed, right? She's pissed. So I mean, I would gladly give Miko away. Yo, you're pissed. Your son is the leader of this pack, so beat him. Beat him. Hey, Black Queen, do what you do. You know, hey, discipline your son.
Slay.
But then, then she does that. She slays Miko, and then she comes for the rest of us. I'm like, no, yo, hold on. I was strongly of the point that I would not let someone else's parents beat me up. And I think that, like, how does that work?
What are you gonna do?
How does that work? I just didn't think it was a thing. So Miko said he was gonna talk about it. He would defend the item.
Okay, yeah. Let me contextualize it. Okay, it didn't always happen, but it happened a couple times where I had a couple friends over at my house, and we got.
Is this here in Malawi or?
Yeah, obviously here. This is like when I
just Game of Thrones all of y'all.
and it was like. You know how like the water bill is always like crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like my mom just got a crazy ass water bill. And me and my friends were like, yo, let's have a water fight. So we pull out the hose and we start like spraying each other and we
All right, yeah. Okay.
yeah, so we pull out the hose and start spraying each other.
Never a good idea.
Don't pull out the hose in your mama's house. Don't do it, guys. That ain't it. Like don't do it.
That ain't it.
Don't do it. Don't pull out the hose in your mama's house. But
Yeah, so we pull out the hose and we just started getting a whole bunch of stuff from like the tool shed. And my mom comes to and she's pissed. She's like, I just paid this damn water bill and this kid's fucking this shit up. So I think, she was just in there and she let us know what was down.
Yeah.
But in her defense, my friends came through because their parents recommended that they'll be at my house because they would behave. They were like, yo, if you go to Miko's house, you behave. So, they saw it coming. They They knew that, my mom kept us straight and we grew up some strapping young lads,
Yeah. And I think that's when even the friends' parents would take your mom to the side and be like, yo, if these kids, if they do some shit, just fuck them up a little bit. Just do what you do to Miko so that, they should learn. So so is beating up your kids? Should kids be beaten up? Is that how it is? Yeah, should you beat your kids? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Because there was also the thing about how Akulu never got an ass whooping from his parents, and Miko said that
it shows.
It shows.
What is? I want to ask. What do you mean by that?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, you know what? There's like, how back in the day they'll be like, these are kids who went to boarding school. These are kids that were day scholars. These kids never experienced. It's the same thing with kids that got their ass whooped. Kids who got their ass whooped know how to act, because they know that if it's not your friends who got your ass whooped, who whoop your ass, somebody else will come and put you straight. So you are one of those niggas who doesn't behave like you know how to step in line. Stay in line.
I don't know what that means, but I did think about this because I was thinking, Kuti, man, I act like I haven't been beat because I have been beat. And I have been beat by my parents.
You said you did.
When did I say that? Last time?
Yeah.
I was lit, guys. I don't know what I was saying. Hey, I'm telling you.
Tell us about the time when you got.
What? It was, I can't remember like the specifics.
I remember every ass whooping.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get beat like that deeply, but I've been beat by my parents, my brothers. I've had a point where my brother put my head under a cushion and he sat on it, and then he's just watching TV. My older brother. I have like
because both would make sense.
If his younger brother did that, I would believe it.
I'd believe it.
Yeah, but anyway.
But do you need a hug, bro? Because you seem like
no, bro. I'm okay. It's not that deep. Anyway, my main point was that I don't think you can tell when someone Goody, this guy wasn't beat. All right. I think people react to different parenting styles. I think you can tell when somebody is like, this guy had this type of parenting style because this guy's like this, like this. But even that's not accurate.
it's
You know,
never-
you can't really
like,
tell someone's upbringing. You know, you can guess, but I don't think you can tell that
you
unless
can
they
only-
have bruises.
You can
but-
only like estimate.
yeah, that's how you can actually tell. Goody, okay, this guy was.
And
beat
because
by
I got
someone.
my first.
I think it's all right. Go on. Your first
my
beating.
first beating
Yeah.
was in secondary school. At
Shit, for
at
real?
boarding school. Like
That's late, bro.
Like exactly.
That's when they stop.
That's when they stop. They're like, hey, you're growing up. You should know better.
Actually,
It's different.
Yeah.
Maria, Chikwapu.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
first, my
What
first
did you do, man?
experience was like with our teacher, Mr. Luhanga. Shout out, Mr. I think he's dead now. R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
St. John's. Yeah, we I think we were late in sleeping. Like we had our lights on after 9 p.m. So like we were all like lined up the whole room. We had like six whips. So my first experience with getting beaten. So
I think
six
that
whips.
I also 6 whips.
Whips? What do you mean?
Whips like
Yeah, nah, it's just like
Ah,
6.
okay.
yeah, whip.
Yeah. You know, I thought about this too. I thought that the reason why Miko said, because I didn't think of it that way, that like, look, Akulu hasn't gotten a beating and it shows. But like, just to defend him a bit, I think the reason, I thought about how, why would he think that it shows? What does Akulu do that shows that this guy didn't get an ass whooping? And then it took me back to a time when Akulu was trying to design some t-shirts for some clients. And then they just didn't end up, they were taking too long for the t-shirts to get printed and stuff, right? And then, and it wasn't really his fault because he was getting them printed somewhere else. But then the client didn't know that, so they kept going to him about, yo, where are our t-shirts? And then Akulu hit him with an answer, and like I can't stop thinking about it. He's like, yo, I don't have a smart answer for you. That's you telling an angry client, right? So I thought that your ability to make up an excuse on the spot to avoid a said beating, that just shows that you don't know what's coming for
Exactly.
No, hold on. I thought about this too. I think we have, because I was a pretty well-behaved kid, right? I didn't do a lot of fuck shit. But obviously I did do some shit that fuck shit, you know.
Yeah.
But I did do some shit that got me in trouble. And for me, what was scary for me wasn't goody, oh, I'm gonna get beat by my parents, but just like having my dad sit me down and fucking lecture me. For me, that was like, yo, that is like,
straight,
so that
straight,
for me, I
straight,
did have
straight.
something coming to me.
Straight.
So you
Straight.
can't assume that either.
Yeah, I got both though.
Yeah. Of course, there were times when I would lie or tell them the wrong thing just so I don't get into trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Shouting?
Exactly. No.
A lecture, not like.
Just to back him up.
Miko, a lecture
To
is
back
a good
Akulu up. Like if
Because I got both. My pops is electric. Yeah. So my pops was like, I got both. My pops is a talker. Of course, like when he's done talking, you know, your eyes are like tearing up. So it was like a bit of both. And I knew that, like, you know, it wasn't as scary as the ass whooping, because the ass whooping.
See?
the thing is, if you've already experienced an ass whooping, you're gonna fear that over a lecture. But then if you've never like experienced the ass whooping, the lecture
lecture is
is
enough.
as effective as
and
the
you know
ass
what?
whooping.
And it's cool that Akulu just said that, because I used to know Akulu as a kid. I didn't know him, but like I used to see him, and he just looked like the type of guy that was always scared for like just you know what I mean. He was like he had this face that he's just scared. So I could see how you could tear up over a lecture.
Tiny shit.
I could see that.
It
So,
happens.
and for you,
You're like-
that's pain. So it makes sense.
It's like,
It makes a lot of sense.
and
Yeah.
it's enough for you like
It's
to
enough,
mess
yeah.
up your whole
Yeah,
day and
yeah.
you're just scared.
For a well-behaved guy, I've seen that a lot actually. Yo, let me tell you about my ass whooping though. Yo, dude. So I don't really like have a lot of childhood memories like that. But I remember this specific time. I don't know what I did, but I remember getting my ass handed out to me by my dad. Right? It's fucking me up. Right? He's beating me up, and then I always looked at my mom as the support. Exactly. You know what I mean? And this time I'm in a room and they're both there. And I'm like, you know those war movies, those when the guy's on the floor and he's literally like crawling, he's got arrows all over his back. He's just that's me right now, and I'm trying to make my way to my mom so that she could save me, right? And this woman here, she just looked at me. That's when I knew that I see the team you play for.
I know where your loyalty lies, man.
Yeah, man, I know where your loyalty lies, and ever since that, I knew that like in this world you're alone.
Oh, scars.
Yeah,
Scars.
bro.
Deep.
Yeah.
You know, the time I realized that was this time. You know, I used to sleep in the same room as my brother. So sleeping alone in a room was like something I'm not really down for. So I remember one day I'm acting up moody, acting up to my mother. I'm not talking to her. And then at night I'm like, hey, I say, I'm scared because my brother was there. So I'm like, hey, I'm scared. I want to sleep in my mom's room. I knock on her door. She's like, now you come through. Now you want to talk to me. Maz. She closes the door on me, bro. I've never felt so betrayed, bro. Never felt so
Betrayal
betrayed.
is something you never forget, bro. Betrayal is deep.
So it's not the ass whoop, it's the betrayal.
I think the betrayal
So
hurt more.
you feel like you trust your rents. It's like,
Yeah.
these will never hurt me. And
Yeah,
then it's like,
bro.
yo.
Yeah.
Where is this coming from?
But like, I mean, all right. So just to say, the topic says, should you beat your kids? I personally, you guys seem like you think that, or Miko at least, seems to think that he says it's a good thing. And
Yeah,
it
not
works.
excessively,
I think that you should never beat your kids, honestly.
Yeah.
Because look, you're way bigger than this person. Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like, you know, when your screen, back in the days when your big ass TV screen has the lines on it, when your VCR, when you're playing that, and then what you do is you beat it, pa pa pa, and then you put it back in, and it's good for a bit. And but it still has a problem. You haven't really fixed it. I think that's the same with kids. He's just crying. He's acting up. So beat him. He's gonna shut up for now. But that's like
okay. I think with the way my parents would deal with it. Yeah, they'll beat me and then they'll sit me down and explain. Yo, this is why I whooped your ass. Right? I want you to associate that fuck shit that you did with this ass whooping. So next time you know how to act. That's the whole thing I'm saying. Kids who got their ass handed to them know how to act. So it's not like just a senseless beating where you're like, oh, what the fuck did I do? Yeah. But no, you get your ass whooped so that it puts you straight. It's like punishment. It's just that pain has a way of speaking to people.
Different forms of pain.
Okay. Now, what I feel about this is, if it depends on what do you want to achieve if you're gonna beat them. Because my view is what Miko is saying, to say, as fear, pain, as a motivator to don't do something, I feel that doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Carrots and sticks don't work. If you want something to be done, you give money for them to do that. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. You can motivate the kids. Like, if you want a certain behavior, there's a different way of like achieving it instead of just carrots and sticks. If you do this, if you do it wrongly, I'm gonna beat you. If you do it correctly, I'm gonna give you money. That doesn't. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. There's just to add, there's other ways to punish someone than to physically hurt them, right? Because as I said, like you're huge. This is a kid, bro. Like
Yeah.
I have a quick point. Just gonna jump into feminism real quick. Real quick. Hold on.
No, you know,
This is something.
this guy's been dying to say that. Because he said that in the interview as well. He's like,
Yeah.
feminists will come back. And I was looking at him
No,
like, yo,
it's
when
just
is feminism
something-
going to come back?
It's just something that came to my mind, man. Damn, I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway, so there's something, and apparently I'm not allowed to say this anymore, but I'm going to say it. Something that I read. This is just, and when I say that, this is just me distancing myself from what I'm about to say, because I can't entirely defend it. It's just I'm putting it out there as food for thought, right? So I had read that, you know how the patriarchy is like this evil thing, right? So violence is a form of this patriarchy where when you believe that beating someone will get them to do what you want to do, that's what like violence is. So it's like you don't know how else to communicate to this person but to hurt them, which is kind of fucked up. Like, it's not exactly right. So I agree with what OT and Mac was saying. Kuti, there are other ways to communicate with someone. I don't know what ways these are, but yeah,
Like,
that's
just to add on to what you're saying, because I was reading this book, Drive, and it basically is about.
that's how you go about it when you say I read somewhere. You have to say the book, citation, and everything. Because now it could just be of you. You're just trying to distance yourself.
It's about that. Like, why do people do certain things? So like in that situation, you would think if I beat him, he will stop doing it.
Yeah.
But then it could happen, like beating him will have like side effects. Like you even make
he
the situation
becomes
worse.
immune to the
exactly. Yes. And then that's what you do even. Like if you get beaten like 10 times in 10 weeks. In the 11th week, you won't even be scared about getting beaten. It's
Tell
just
us
like,
about the time you got beaten by the police, and then you became harder and
An outlaw.
those were like crazy times. Like,
because you came back hard. You know, it's just like how niggas come out from jail, from prison, and then
So-
just like, yo, I can't. I've gone through it all. I
yeah,
can't.
so
y'all
like
can't do
some
shit.
backstory a bit.
Yeah.
So in school, like there were some demonstrations, chan. So like we got caught with the
Not me.
as in me and Jan. Anadimanga police. So then we got an ass whooping. And I mean an ass whooping where you're defenseless. It's like 7 policemen hitting you with their sticks and Jan. And then you can't
just
do
like,
shit.
hold on.
You can't, like, you know, being helpless in a situation where you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then that whole escapade, what happened after that, in hindsight, I can say, like, I was more violent. Like
see?
I can see it even now. Like when I look back at it, it's like after that, like
You
I had
became
no
fearless.
record of like a violent altercation. But then after that, it was like somebody does some shit. It's like because I've already been hit as hard as you can hit anybody.
So,
Why should I be afraid of what you can do? Like I'm ready for like to get
and
down
this
with
is,
anything.
this is why like the whole parents beating their kids thing. That's why in the Western world it's called abuse and all of that, because then the kid like ends up growing up fucked up, and then they're like, yo, I've been abused as a kid because I was beaten up, and now it's I can't stand any pain. So
So ass whoopings lead to R. Kelly.
So are you one of those like guys?
Yeah, well, some side effects could be that. Because when you're abused as a kid, you're when you grow up,
Yeah, prone to
yes, you're prone to abuse other kids or other people. Or it
And
works.
then,
like
you know what's funny is like how Biko said that he would get a beating and then they'll sit him down and lecture him. The other kids out there would get the lecture as they're getting the beating. I told you to stop the chan. That's the shit right there. That's killing 2 birds with one stone.
like other people be like, you're 1 feet away. Like,
Yeah.
I'm your son. Like, what?
All right, so the next topic, still on the whole kid situation and like growing up and stuff. Every time when I'm driving around Lilongwe and then there's a red light somewhere, I stop and then there's hella kids, beggars, people that are disabled, and just a bunch of random people in the street that come to your window to hit you up like, yo, can we have some money and all of that. And now it's increasing, right? There's like so many of them. And just how do you deal with that situation? Like, how does that work? Is that a good thing? Did you help them? If by helping them, are you then encouraging them to come back the next day? And then now, are they in danger as well? Because they're right in the middle of the street, right? They're right in the middle of the road. Some reckless driver could like hit someone that's already, in a bad position, basically. So how do you work
Personally?
with that? I don't know. Like as a country, personally, like what you got on that?
As personally, like any chance I get to help somebody, I take it. You know, we're just we're meant to help each other and like.
Says who?
No,
Is that what you do?
on
Says
paper.
who?
Like I legit have a
On paper.
I really don't want to say it, but I got a fund. Where like I swear down. I swear.
nigga.
I
We know you, bruh. We know you, bruh.
I swear down.
We just met. What? Come on.
I have a fund.
How much is in this fund?
Get out
Where
of
is it?
here,
Let's
bro.
see.
Okay.
Come on.
Get out of here, bro.
Okay, fine. A fund is too much, but okay. I have. Okay, let me.
Nah, we ain't buying this, bro.
I don't spend 20s and 50s. I keep them so that those are like I just have a principle. I don't spend 20 wages. I don't spend 50 wages. I keep those for the people that I meet and their need. Right. So personally, if any chance I get to help somebody, I'm gonna take it. As a country, I think we need shelters. We need places. We need to take care of our homeless. Because sometimes they're homeless because of the mindset. There's people in the street with one arm or whatever, and they're begging. Just across the pond, I've seen people in TZ, one arm, and they're working, Just because you're disabled in some way does not mean you're invalid,
I'll have my 2 cents is I never, like maybe rarely, give even as much as the 50 waja to the people who are begging in the streets.
Nice.
Because I feel like
Contradict.
if you're there, if you're looking for help, I mean, I'm sure you have a place where you're coming from. Or do something.
Some
like,
people don't,
because now the thing is, if you're in the street and then it's the street kids, one, they have to go to school. They have to find. We have free schools.
They have free schools.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's my thing as well.
I don't want to motivate them to like be in
Yeah.
the streets.
And
You get
that's my
100
thing
from me,
as well.
100 from me,
Like,
you get
look.
a 1,000 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, this is hustle. I'm
Yeah.
hustling. This is good.
And also just to like, I don't want to stop your point. To go on after this, it's like you have someone that's disabled, and then they're being they're being escorted by a kid that should probably
Yeah.
be in school.
Yeah.
So now that's two people
Yeah.
that are disabled.
So it's like the kid is the agent.
Yeah.
It's like the disabled person that's the artist,
Yeah.
and the kid is the agent. He'll get a percentage.
So
at
it's
the
a
end
scam.
Of it.
Yo,
It's a
but-
scam. No,
but
I
I
just
get
don't
what
buy
you're
it.
saying. I get what you're saying. But I found this out that even the free schools are not exactly free. You know, you go
true, actually.
you go there. They ask you for development fee.
That's
They
true.
ask you for school fees.
Yeah.
They're so. I remember in my hood where. Okay, not like in my hood, but just around my area.
825 Miko in
Around-
the building, yo.
Around
Hey,
my area, where
make some noise.
Represents,
Representing.
there's people in my area.
Between us, it's only you who people know where you live. Like,
No, bro.
shout out to you.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's people in my area. I've seen kids where like, yo, I'm coming back from school. Why? I say I don't have the development fee, and you find out we're paying every month. We're paying 500, and if you see people who are earning 20,000, even those people can't afford. Now imagine somebody who's in the street. Your parent is there. He's blind. He's on a wheelchair. He can't do shit for himself. You have to push him around just to earn something, just for you to eat. And then from there, you should be getting money to pay for school fees. So I get how they're not in school. So that's why I'm saying, like, if there's provisions for people to put those kids in schools, in
Yeah.
shelters,
Yeah.
just give them just a push.
Yeah.
The rest they can do, tell them what from 9 to 12 you're in school. Afterwards, you're going out hustling. That makes sense.
Yeah, but then I mean, I like the whole you have to help people factor of things, and that's deep and whatnot. But then my thing is, you help them today, and then they like, this is where I make money. They come back tomorrow, then you help them again, and then that's now a source of income. It becomes a job.
Yeah.
So today, Akula and I were driving at around lunchtime, right? And this is a place that usually has a bunch of beggars in the streets, and they were gone, right? It was clean, and I was like, yo, do you think that you might meet them at KFC? Because they're just like, yo, you're on your lunch. I'm on my lunch too. I'm taking lunch off I'm taking a lunch break from my job where I earn like money. Because I heard the story about some lady that managed to build a house in Area 49 and things like that off of just
begging.
like begging.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like 20-year beggars out there.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want to support like this begging thing because I think it's a mentality thing. The way you're saying it, Mac. Because like we had like when I was in.
Mr. Like in the building.
We had like when I was in like 25. Like we had a guy who was laid off. I don't know if you're listening to this. No, I mean no harm. This is all just.
It's cool.
Okay,
it's
he was laid off he was working in Kanengo, Janet. So he was laid off, and then from being laid off, he started Chiwaya. So at the end of the week, this guy works at Chiwaya guy. At the end of the week, he would want to still maintain his lifestyle the way he lived when he was like working in the industry. It was just the blue collar jobs. Yeah. So it's like at the end of the week, Friday, I drink special with my guys and so he's working at Uaya. He makes money. He makes money, but then at the end of the week, money, profit, no come special.
Yeah.
The other week, he goes the same thing. 3 years pass by. It's the same Tuaya. Still drinking special. No progress. Like it's the same. Like just to add on what you're saying, it's a mentality thing. Like if you're thinking like on this being in the road thing, it's a job for me, and then it's like okay, it's working for me. Like you're not.
gonna keep doing
I feel
it.
like most of them are not thinking. Okay, this is just a stepping stone. Like I don't want to be like you don't want to. Even though like if
because you're helping those people to get them off the street.
Yes.
Not to make them
Yes,
come back
exactly,
the next day.
Exactly.
So that's the mentality thing.
it should
where,
be
like,
if
you-
circumstances get you in that situation, you should use that situation to like build from there and then not be in the same place the next year.
But you've seen
I don't feel like that's
there's a
what
guy,
happens. I don't feel like
there's
that's-
some man and some lady by game.
Yeah.
They've been there for years.
Exactly.
I always see them. They have a letter with
There's
us.
a similar guy in Blanta by Standard Bank.
Yeah, they're always there.
Exactly.
So they're gonna do that for 20 years if they have
It
to.
shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, so I think if you see those type of people, like there's a lady who, okay, I say I give money, but there's this lady I don't give money to because I know for sure, like
no fun.
no, because she asked for 200 and I only give 20s and 50s, but but she always
Demands for.
yeah, she was like, yo, I need Jan. No, she comes to me like all proper.
No,
No, no.
I don't charge 20s anymore.
don't charge 20s.
Yeah.
I want a 200.
So she pulls up and she's like, yo, I need this cash to do this and that, and I need 200 kwacha. So the first time I gave it to her, I'm like, okay, cool. And then she did again. I'm like, I think I know you. And then the third time I was like, you know what? Sorry, I don't have. You know, and that's the thing that a lot of these people do. And even Chris was the other day was like, yo, there's this lady by some place, I think it's in Area 6 or so, where she always asks for money to go to the hospital. Like, I know I need to go to the hospital, and the other times I need to go back to the moods. So Chris was like, you know what? What if we just tell her, I say, we'll go in the same direction, get in the car, we'll drop you there. Let's see what she does. You know?
Yeah, I haven't had any chance to say anything yet.
Yeah, please.
No, I'm trying to.
Nah, because we all know Akulu isn't giving out any free money.
Anyway,
Or we need to give him.
anyway,
Oh shit!
anyway.
I
don't mind.
I take.
I don't mind. Okay. Yeah. you guys had some dope points. I had to write my shit down. Yeah, man, I can't fucking remember all my shit. Yeah, so first thing, definitely, I think this is something we brought up in the first podcast or something, where when we're talking about Ras Chikomin, about opportunity. Where, like, honestly, in this country, it's very hard to find opportunity. So it's really hard for all these people to find work, like real jobs or whatever. Yeah. And my second point is, Miko, you said that any chance you get, you help people. I do not believe that.
I help you all the time.
Let me talk. I don't believe that because I think when you're defining help, it's a very deep thing. So if I come to you every day and you give me $1,000, are you really helping me?
No, that's not helping.
Yeah. So, but then that's what you're doing, right?
No. That's, okay.
So are you taking these people to certain places? Are you running certain initiatives to get these people jobs and opportunities? That's helping. Right. If you're really out here saying that because right now, if you give these people money, you're just encouraging this habit.
Okay,
I do not.
That's deep.
I do not agree with. Yeah, I do not agree with giving people money. I remember I saw this thing on the status ages ago. It was like a restaurant with, like, you know how sometimes they have witty stuff on the front menu or something. Yeah. So it was like, it said something witty at the beginning, I forgot, but the second part was like straight to the point. People who give money to beggars are idiots. Like, that's it. Plain and simple. Do not do that. And also, just a quick point, this might be a little segue, but the whole lifestyle thing. I've been watching these videos where, like, if you get a divorce from someone, but then you're like, you can argue that, I'm entitled to the lifestyle I was living before, you can claim money. What is up with that? That's weird.
All right, okay.
The thing is, it's deep. Nah, just you're gonna add like the lifestyle thing, eh? Even when you're working, eh? when you're employed, eh?
Yeah.
When you're employed, like let's say I'm employed and I'm getting paid, for example, 700,000 a month. Like, if you're going to another job, they can't offer you like less than that. Yeah. It's an issue of what? Lifestyle. What happens is when you get this certain amount of money, your lifestyle, the way you're living, it's adjusted to that. Like, your whole salary, it's all bills paid. Even
if you know you'll be happy at the new job.
Yeah. But then, you can't be offered.
The environment is good.
Yeah. So lifestyle is a thing for, is it, what am I saying? Personal welfare, social welfare.
That makes sense.
It's an actual concept where you can't be, because we want to progress in life.
All right, okay, here's what I was going to say, right? Where you asked about the help and whatever. I think we're all entitled to help people to our own capacity, right? So you asked, am I taking them to jobs? Am I, whatever? In my capacity, to the fullest of my abilities, right? I'm not aware of where these people can find jobs. I'm not aware of where they can find cheap housing, right? I think that's up to them. So what I'm doing is aiding them to be able to do that. So if they need TPT to go find out where they can find available jobs, that's what I'm doing, right? If they need a little juice just to give them energy to walk a certain distance.
Juice.
That's what I'm giving.
Water,
you.
nigga.
You know,
They're lying to you.
Huh?
They're lying to you. They don't.
That's
need
up to them.
PPG.
That's up to them. You know, I've done my part. I've done my part to make sure that I've given you the resource. It's like you as an illustrator, I give you a PC, I give you a graphics tab, and I give you a client. Right? This is okay.
Yeah,
we can
that's
move on.
work. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. No, but
Yeah.
to do so. So fine.
You're teaching him how to fish.
I'm not teaching him to fish. I'm giving you.
Fish. You're not just giving.
I'm giving you the transport to get to the boat. That's what I'm doing.
No, but that's the you don't even know that. Yeah, you don't know. So here's one thing that once happened at my place. So we used to stay in Kasungu like years ago, right? We're there, and then there was a bunch of people that would come to the gate to ask for things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, there was a fund situation, the Miko thing, where there was UFA, not a fund. UFA, shit like that, where you take some, you hand them out, and then they're like, thank you, and they leave, right? But then this one time, there's a kid that came, a kid that's like maybe 10 years old or 10, 11, something like that. And then they come through with a whole story about how, my parents this, that, I don't have parents, blah, blah. I'm just trying to get to the village, blah, blah, blah. And my mom was like touched by the story. Yeah. So she's like, it's pretty late right now. Come in. We'll feed you, we'll give you clothes, everything like that. Tomorrow, we'll take you to the bus station. You get on a bus, we'll pay for everything. We'll get you to your family, to your village, or wherever you're going. And that's cool. He stayed with us for a night, all of that. Next day, she got someone to escort him to the bus station, gave him a little money, gave him clothes, everything, right? Yeah. When they got to the bus station, he went MIA. He docked on this person. Just hit a corner, hit a left, hit a right. Kid's gone. Gone. And then like the person I was escorting asked him like, whoa, what's going on? And then people around, they're like, yo, you're with this kid? We know this kid, yo. Yeah. He rolls around with the robbers and the killers. These guys, you sure they didn't hit your house? They slept at your house the whole night and they didn't hit your house? Yeah. He goes in, then he opens the doors for them, and then they come in, and then they kill you and do whatever they. So, yo.
I mean, it is a dark world out here. It is a dark world. So, like, I guess that, like, vulnerable people, when you open yourself out, people will take advantage, right? But it's not everybody. That's what you have to sleep on. You're like, okay, do I give them the benefit of the doubt, or do I just write them off, right? So, I don't know. Like, it's just, I'd rather give them the benefit of the doubt, until I'm on a point where I can say, okay, here is a proper solution. What this guy was, Kulo talking about, you either give him jobs or housing. Until at that point where my fund has grown to a point where I've built an orphanage. That's where I'm hoping to. That's where I want to.
But you know what I think? Yeah. These guys are at a streetlight for a reason. Because you only interact with them for a few minutes. That you can't tell them. They can't tell you the whole story and everything. They know it says you give me money or you don't. That's it. It's either you're going or you're stopping for a few minutes. Yeah. There's no way there's no way you're gonna get the whole story and then get them into your fund or whatever, into your orphanage. They'll always be by the street because they know that's where the quick money is. Yeah. That's it. This quick bucks. I'm here. I thought there was a president like a few years ago or something that banned the whole beggars thing. Like it was banned. There was a law where I think it was bingo or something.
Yeah, there's no beggars, no vendors in the streets.
No beggars, no vendors. That was a thing. And I'm sure that came from a really like deep-seated...
because there's places for them to go.
Bingo was an economist, man. Like there was no free lunch. Thus you can no free lunch. Like if you're not working, there's no reason why you should be eating anything.
Thank you.
So like that's what we have to like embed in the citizenry. If you and I was just shouting you out, man.
Nice.
If exactly.
All right,
exactly.
cool.
So that's my view.
That's that. So next topic, how you talked about how you have to work for your lunch, right? That's what most of us are doing. I have to work for what I earn, for my lifestyle, for my lunch, and for all that. So that usually finds me working a lot. I'm working all the fucking time, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm working. Yeah, bro. All I do is work. You can't talk to me. I work. So now I check out my phone and then someone's like, yo, you haven't responded to my message in 3 hours. Why are you ignoring me? I'm like, yo, I'm working. I'm busy. So then they hit me up. I go to the status or whatever. This is not recent. This is just a thing. And this has happened to me maybe about 5 or 6 times. It happens all the times.
Trying to put some smoke. That way you
Yeah, I'm
can
trying
narrow
to
it
like
down.
put down
Like,
as a-
it's not you. It's not you I'm talking about. Like, hey,
Yeah, it's
the
not you.
timeline is a lot.
Yeah,
It's happened a lot of times. So it's
you
not
and
you,
them.
man.
It's you and them.
I get you, I
but
get
no,
you.
it's a proper thing where you have someone that is not in exactly the same situation as you are. Maybe they might have a job as well, so they have their 9 to 5. I'm working till 2 a.m. if I have to. You know what I mean? I'm in business, so it's like, nah, you're not busy. If you cared, you wouldn't be busy. You'd make time. If you cared, you'd make time. And then they pull up those tweets from niggas that I fuck with. I'm like, yo, you're my friend. Why you doing this? They're like, yeah, he can't say he's too busy for you. You know, when you're busy, then like you make time for people you care for. What do you guys think about that? Because I just said what I think about it. It's bullshit. What do you guys think?
Just a quick shout out to the host, Mac. I love this shit where you transition to another topic.
Segue.
By getting something from the previous topic. That's dope, bro. That's dope, bro. That's dope, bro.
Fuck you, Agolo.
Haters, man. Haters. I just to start off, I low key agree with this whole caring thing. Because low key. I don't agree with it, but low key. I just want to put a point here that when I feel like once you start fucking with somebody, you are gonna sacrifice a few things.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to try to make. That's just how it is when you're trying to be with someone. That's just how it is when you're trying to be with someone. You're gonna have to sacrifice some freedoms. That's just when you're alone. You have a lot of freedom. Freedoms. I'm gonna call them freedoms. Man, these guys are
freedoms.
Let me finish. All right, let me finish. But also on the other side, for the person who wants all this attention, she also has to sacrifice some freedoms. She cannot expect too much attention from you. So everybody, it's compromise, I think. I'll leave it there. Jump in later.
I'm gonna agree on that. But like standing on this point, DTR define the relationship, right? From like that's friends, significant others, flings, fuck buddies, all of that. Define the relationship. If you know that I'm a working man, you've got to know. Like I have to tell you that I'm only available on this and that. You know, from the jump, like you should know whether this person's available this time. So don't expect too much. Like if you should know what you're getting into, and from there, like you can't have any expectations, and then get disappointed. Well, if you have the expectation, you get disappointed. But if somebody lays it out, this is how it's gonna be. This is how much time I'm gonna dedicate to you. Then, you have no reason to be fronted about how I don't have time for you. If you know I'm working, bitch, I'm working.
OT, yo, what you think, bro? Yo, I've never seen him be so humble ever in his life. It's like I'm good. I'm not gonna. No, but I know what OT is gonna say. OT's gonna be like, yeah, you guys need to talk it out between person A and person B, and if person B and A says that, and then that's it. That's your agreement between your relationship.
Accent, yeah.
I feel like that's,
come on.
Thanks, man.
that's what everybody's gonna say, man. What? Okay, what's
Otherwise, I'll reserve my right to remain silent on this matter.
Here's my point. Because we talk about how like communication. This is something that actually I think I was talking to Mac with earlier this week. I think where we talk about how communication is important.
Yeah.
But I think there are 2 points here. And the point that I talked about with Mac was that sometimes people just don't listen. They don't hear what you're saying. So you can talk about something, but they're not really going to respond. You're muddled up in all these emotions. And my key point is that talking is hard, bruh. Like you can talk about how, I think we just need to talk about this. You tell your girl, let's talk about such and such. And then you don't know how to say, you're not even entirely sure what define.
Exactly. That's what
and just a quick point, defining. I remember, this is just a little segue. I remember, in first year, my homie used to tell me that, the chase is dope. I like it when things are not defined and that's just like, sort of just, fucking around. Yeah. That's dope. Once you bring the whole discussion or whatever, once you bring the whole, Man, you niggas are distracted.
Anyway, the chase. Once you bring the whole,
Once you start talking about things,
that was you, OT. That was you.
Ah.
This the chase.
OT ain't safe. Yeah, so once you start defining things, now you're limited. Now you start fun anymore. And that's what everybody wants to do. Now it's getting serious.
Exactly. So I have time to do my real job.
No, So what it be?
Yeah, that's now I have time to do my real job. Like it's a contract. Like even when you're married, you know what I say. This is what I'm gonna get out of it. If you tell her that this is that, you define it, then you know how comfortable you can be.
You know how many people how many people define things and then no one goes by the contract when it comes to relationships and feelings. It's not a contract because it's not. Don't think of it like that. Because feelings get caught and things change. Dramatically.
I just to support what Miko said. Like for example, we're doing like a research. I was in Blanta because we're doing a research with football guys. So like you have a lot of work that you're doing before the project actually starts. You have to like put in hours, sleepless nights. But then when you actually get to a point where you've launched it and it's ongoing, it's supposed to like work for itself. And you're just there like monitor. You be there once a month just to monitor what's going on. Then maybe that's what he was saying to say. Was that your point, Miko? To say like when you have a contract, was that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Once you set it up, then you know you know what these are the boundaries. This is what I gotta do. If this is going wrong, this is because you have someone to look back on. But if you just leave it free for all, then she can be fronting about you not giving her time because you never told her that you won't be available.
All right, that's dope because there's the thing about communication and you telling her that you'll be available. I've gotten a thing where it's like when you're in a meeting, just let me know. I won't bother you. And that's cool. Like if I'm in a meeting, I'll be like, yo, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm in a meeting. Yeah. And that's fine. But the way my work is set up, the way all of our work is set up is that you could be busy when you're not in a meeting. You could be busy when you're not trying to be busy. So I could be sitting somewhere in a car or doing some shit, and I look like I'm just sitting still, and I even have my phone in my hands, but I'm not replying to a text because I'm thinking about the next project.
Exactly. So if she knows that from the jump, if she knows what you just said from the jump, give you freedom.
Dude, like the thing is, I think that it's an African problem, bro. Where like we don't consider sitting down to think about a project, thinking man,
and
racist, bro. I think we don't consider thinking and planning as a job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's work. If I'm focused on thinking and planning for the next project, I'm working. Don't look at me and say, yo, because you're not physically painting at some place, then you're free. Why aren't you talking to me? I'm working. Ooh. I know a guy, like we were talking about this. I know a guy in Lakers Stars, right? He works for Lakers Stars, and they call him up when they're to think because they like how he thinks.
Guess.
You know what I mean?
Just to add on what
think.
To add on what you're saying, like it's difficult to like actually notice it in this day and age. But then in the times of like Aristotle or Socrates, those guys were paid to just sit in a room, like just sat on a chair like this
on a toilet seat.
They're thinking. So right now, because like it's so many things that you could be doing on your phone, you can't actually notice it. But then you need like sometimes to like just meditate and reflect.
That's true.
You could be listening to some like ASMR, some music, but you're thinking, you're scheming, you're thinking of like how do I do that? And we don't actually put value to that time.
And I think essential. That and the way you put it in the first place about how when you were planning your project, how the planning process was a lot, that's the thinking. And then when you think of it and when you plan it well enough, then the project can roll out on its ace and do whatever it's meant to accomplish and all of that. But out here, you have to be farming physically. You have to hold a hole and all of that, and physically like work for them to consider it as work.
And that goes back to the book I was reading, the Drive one, where it's about like in this day.
It's the first book you read.
Yeah. The only book is right.
Miko with the shade, man.
If we're gonna go on a list on the books I've read, like we won't finish this. Anyway, it's about like this day and age, like the way our motivation thinking is set up this whole like we have to work in the field. That's like industrial revolution type of thinking.
Yeah.
In this day and age, the internet age, like this time, like I could be like just here chilling, then doing some work. Like people are rescheduling the way they set up their offices, where offices right now are not like cubicles, because it's about creativity. Now the industry where there's actual money in 2019 going forward, it's the creative work. It's not the repetitive or like industrial type of work. It's the thinking about something that's not there, innovating, being creative. So just to add on with what you're saying.
I wrote a bunch of points. Man, niggas. Right. So like what Max said about the contracts, I feel like what you said, Goody, people don't really follow contracts. And that's when in relationships you don't even write anything down. But then with a company,
Sheldon Cooper does.
with Sheldon Cooper. I don't even watch Big Bang Theory, man. Although I know who Sheldon Cooper is. It's crazy. I do not rate Big Bang Theory at all.
Get out of here.
Moving on. Moving on. Yeah, so you know with the
I can't take Akulu seriously now.
yeah, you know with contracts, you know you have a company where you've written everything down. It's written by a lawyer, but still you'll find that everybody's acting in a real lax. So if in a lax way. So if even a company cannot follow a written down contract, what more a relationship where things are defined in a casual way, right? My second point,
This guy's getting too serious, man. Fuck you, man.
Can I just say no? Can I just say?
I think you should stop posting the list. Like, because this nigga's planning.
Yo, can I just say how it's like when we started this podcast, the only reason why I play around so much is because I thought it would be like playing around. And then you guys, none of us were experienced and shit. And then you guys came through with all the deep shit. And this guy is even writing now. He's got, I mean, for all we know, he has a ghostwriter. Maybe do me wrong out here. It's like sending him verses. Would I say, yo, talk about this and that? Like, yo, what's up, bro? Like,
the only reason I'm writing stuff is because I actually want to listen to everybody. Because if I'm holding on to an idea while I'm trying to listen to Miko, I'm not going to give you the full attention. So I want to write it down, put it aside, and
Thank you so much, Mr.
That's
Civilized.
All right, fine. Okay, fine. Sorry.
All right, counsel.
Forget the rest of my points. I'll do better. I will do.
No, freestyle it.
No, I want to hear the other point, though. No, I want to hear the other point, though. No, let's hear the other. No, okay, let's.
We can hear the other points as long as he puts his phone down.
All right, yo,
Yeah. Put your phone down and then tell us the other point.
Did you know? Let me tell you this.
Did you know it's crazy? Did you know?
Yeah, this is a thing that a lot of people don't know. I only know because I used to be a youth parliamentarian.
Did you know that McPherson Delamo used to be a youth
parliamentarian? It should be over by now. They haven't told me yet, but I hope
people
it's over.
actually vote you in, or you're just like. Please answer.
No, it was interviews. So you apply and then you go to formal interviews, and so they ask you questions. But did you know that MPs are not around? They're not. Wait, hold on. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please.
So you're gonna say aroused?
Are you gonna like?
MPs
are not aroused.
Right, yeah, that's cool.
We're not aroused.
Apparently, Dust is not gonna cut it out. I can't do it, you guys, bro. I can. All right, cool.
What's the deal with this?
Yo,
it shouldn't be a big deal.
No, but you know what? This is gonna be a topic. This is gonna be a topic. Anyway, yeah. So apparently,
working young king.
Yeah, MP.
Work your L's and R's, MP.
God damn. All right, so yeah, if you're an MP, you're not meant to write down your points. So they have like a big fucking book of like the topics to speak about and whatnot, and a lot of presentations, and there's a lot going on, but you can't write, you can't read. When you're presenting your point, you can't be reading from somewhere. And look, the speaker is gonna tune, yo, dude, you're reading, this is not cool, you're not allowed in the house to read that shit. So Dude, that's like the house that makes the rules for the country. This is a podcast. And you're trying to like read?
Nah, man, it's not that deep. First of all, I'm not reading from my phone. I'm just putting down pointers so I can remember things. Second, I can't do that. Second of all, my last point for this is that some people are different, and I have a very bad memory. All right, that's a fact. I am not. No, bro, you don't understand. My memory is really bad. I'm not going to remember everything I want to say, so I need to just write down some pointers, and yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I just feel like you can exercise your memory, bro. Because there's been times where it's like I'm with Akulu, we're chilling, and I'm like, yo, Akulu, you remember that guy from high school? And he's like, no, I don't know who that is. Akulu doesn't remember shit. He's like, no, let me write him down on my phone, and then maybe I'll remember him. Otherwise, I don't remember who that is.
In your little contact book.
My name is Akulu, and I don't remember anything. So yeah, let me write that
Why give
down.
me an old man voice?
That's his voice. That's Akulu. He speaks slow. He's like, yeah. All right. Chills. So next topic, we'll carry it on to the next week because it's really deep. I really want to get into it a lot. So let's wrap up. First of all, can people please? And this might be a segue to
I'll be your McPherson translator for the day. So first of all,
Oh my goodness.
can people please go on? I'll be here. I'll be
Guys,
here.
this is toxic behavior. We can't as Malawians.
You're talking.
We can't.
As
this is toxic.
Marawians.
Oh my goodness.
We need to move
Oh
on.
my goodness.
As
All right,
Marawians,
guys,
let's create.
I'm looking for new podcasters. I'm looking for new co-hosts. I can't deal with these guys anymore. So
Shout out to you, man. You're like avoiding all the L's and R's.
All right, man. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Tell me when you're done.
Well, lady.
I ain't gonna crazy. Hey, shit. Hey. You know, I thought that this was gonna happen one day, but I didn't think it was gonna be me. And I had jokes ready for whoever it was gonna be. Come on, it needs to be a topic.
It needs to be a topic.
And
Yeah.
you guys are toxic as fuck.
No.
But anyway, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. Okay, cool. We talked about how the beggars in the streets are just trying to, the optimistic, they think they're trying to make money off of that shit and all of that. And I've seen a lot of people that are not meant to be beggars because clearly they have good phones, they have WhatsApp and all of that. And now all of them are posting some laughing Buddha guy from Japan because apparently that will make them some money. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? You're a Christian. I know you. I saw you in church, bro.
Guess.
What are you doing?
Guess. Buddha some guess.
Okay. Okay.
How's that different to all the prophets, bro?
Okay.
How's that different?
I get what OT saying, and because I actually saw this, I think it was yesterday, where it worked. Not because Buddha actually did some shit.
What?
No.
I didn't know about that.
No, wait, not because.
Miko talk?
No, not because Buddha did some shit, but somebody posted that, and then as niggas like for bands started sending airtime money to this person who posted it. So that's how it works.
So bands work.
So bands work. But because of Buddha, if they posted,
because of a fucking picture,
It's
bro.
a picture of some fat ass Buddha guy.
How do you know that? That's how it
Buddha,
works.
that's it.
I mean, Buddha works in mysterious ways, man.
niggas
You
are
can't-
undermining,
Some
like,
progressive-
you're really-
guess.
bro. Like,
Buddhism is much
Yes,
deeper
Buddha-
than
yeah,
this.
bro. I feel
Yes.
like you have to
Yeah, but
actually,
then,
you have
like,
to understand it. You can't just post
you
a picture.
can't, you can't say in your state where you are, where you don't understand what Buddhism is.
Yeah.
You can't
I know.
rightfully deny to say it doesn't work.
It's,
I'm
no,
just-
I'm
it
just
doesn't
saying
work like
it
that.
doesn't work
It
like
How
that.
do you know it
I
doesn't?
have read about it.
Read in a book.
I have read about it, and
you
it
know
does
what?
not work
I
like that.
think life.
So did the book have a lot of like O's and R's? Because see, Asians and stuff, they be like, yeah. So Buddha,
You know what?
all right. Shout out to all the Zimbabweans out there. We love you so much.
We love you so much.
We love you so much.
Bro, can we wrap up, please?
All right, yo, so, yeah. So, can people stop posting the Buddha guy? Because that's kind of crazy. I feel
But
like
you have to admit that it worked for some people.
it doesn't work. Please, just please go to work. Okay, go to
Yeah,
work.
go to
then
work.
It's gonna work.
That's the reason. It's the same
Do
thing
your
with
work.
every other religion. Then
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Dust just brought us something which I think kind of leads to the point I brought up in the beginning that
Woo!
we shouldn't undermine, because I think it's a bit disrespectful to the religion that a lot of people are posting this picture and they don't even know what this religion is. But if you were to post Jesus in some weird way, then some Christian people would be offended. So this is still a religion that some people believe in.
I mean, this is the reason I don't subscribe to like religion. I subscribe to my God. I don't subscribe to Chago.
Yeah. So here's the thing about what Dust brought up. It could be the way we're saying that, like we're talking about it, like it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That could be disrespectful to the religion itself because they probably believe that it works.
Yeah, we don't know.
But
It doesn't work
even
like that.
even the people that but second place, even the people that are posting it, these people that grew up Christian for all their lives for like 20 plus years, they see something that's trending and then they think
They're still going to
that's
church.
also disrespectful.
Mac.
I can't post it today. Tomorrow I'm in church.
I feel like
that's disrespectful as well.
let's discuss this topic in more detail because I have like points I want to say.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not
Alright,
appropriate
cool,
to like say them
cool.
now because we're
Cool.
like, we're supposed to be wrapping up.
I thought it was gonna be one of those topics,
Nah,
so
nah, I
we
feel
just
like
all
it's
agree and tune like, yo,
So
fuck
once you start
this
religion,
shit.
man, it's
Okay.
chapters. That's my view anyway.
Buddhism chapters. You have those?
Religion.
All right, cool.
Because it'll be comments and points about religion, so it'll be chapters. It's not just
Yeah, that's true.
shallow.
Bro. Yeah,
you can't.
All right,
you can't.
we'll do this next time.
But then shout out to you again. Like what Akulu said, man. I want to say it as well.
Yeah, no one can hear you,
Shout-
so
shout-
that's cool.
No,
You might wanna
Boss.
come closer. To
Yeah,
the
so
mic.
we're wrapping up.
I was like talking from there. People heard me.
All right. I also just want to shout out Rachel Siwande. She's on Women's Forbes Africa. Or
Cover.
African.
Shows on the cover.
She was on the cover of African Forbes Women. I got it right there.
Listening to this part.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You want to make another empty promise?
Ooh.
Nah, I came to
Yo guys, you guys are not respecting Rachel like I do. Bro.
Yeah.
Can we respect Rachel at least? Like, so shout out Rachel because she was in the Forbes magazine and she's the founder of M Hub and she's dope. Apparently she was a teacher at KA. I never really got to learn under her, but yeah, she's really cool. I met her a couple of weeks ago. Well, I knew who she was, and then I met her for the first time.
Mac wants to know how he can get the bag. Like Rachel
No,
hit
I
Mac
already
up,
have the
man.
bag, dude.
Like,
So
like he's trying to get the bag. Yeah.
M Hub and Zaluswats are, probably gonna work together in a way. But yeah, that's cool. So shout out Rachel, shout out M Hub. Ladies, please take some notes, because I feel like the thing I saw about the Rachel thing is something we talked about. It was like there was no mention of how she's a woman. Maybe it was on the cover, but like in the story, it's like that's my point. That's my point. She's just dope as a person.
Yeah.
It wasn't like any mention of how
I think the Forbes thing was like
it was a women's Forbes. That makes a lot of sense. But like she's dope as a person.
dope.
She gets a
Regardless
lot of
whether she's a
respect
woman,
in
she's
any
a
room
bitch.
that she walks into. She's like well respected. So yeah, shout out Rachel.
Just a quick point. I think it's still important to acknowledge that she's a woman because a lot of people in this society still believe that a woman cannot do things. So although I agree with you guys that it is important now to recognize people for who they are, not because of their gender, it's still important to highlight in some sort of way that a woman did this, so everybody can do this kind of thing. That's it.
So a woman is too weak. And
okay,
because
now
she
a
did
woman
this-
can do this. So like other.
Let's
if
up to
a woman
episode
did
5
it,
if you want to hear more.
All right,
about this.
yeah. So some suspense for next episode. A lot of suspense
let's start
actually.
from here.
We'll start from here, then we'll move on to the rest. Shout out to everyone that's been listening till this far. We know there's not that many of you, but that's cool. That's cool. T-shirts coming out.
T-shirts coming out.
The empty promise. I think the guy got his money.
All right, guy got his money. Shout out to
Shout out
you,
Raymond.
Raymond.
Bema.
Yeah.
Shout
Out Raymond. He got his money. Next time, get a bundle with that money. That's cool. Hey, Raymond is big, bro. Don't.
Shout out Raymond, man. Like we had a good conversation.
Out here,
Yeah,
Shout out Raymond.
too much sun out here. You need some
let's-
shade.
So yeah, thanks for listening till this far. We're in an hour in, right? So let's cut it up. Let's cut it.
Over and out.
Just
10
over now.
minutes.
Just but
All right, cool. Yeah. Zaluswats.com. Make Life Worth Living campaign, cooking show coming up.
Yeah, that's
Colors of the Mind.
this Friday.
Sad Boy Akulu. Sad Boy Lou
Akulu.
from the Akulu. But yeah, shout out. Keep listening to us. We're still here till episode fucking who knows.
Zalusarch.com.
Till episode 10.
We should get to 1,000.
Episode 1000.
Another empty promise.
I guarantee you, like, episode 1,000. It's an empty. It's a bag. Bag is we realistic. Boss,
That's 1,000 weeks, bro.
Yes.
That's 3 years.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm done for it.
I'm
I don't know if I can stand you niggas for
Bro.
every week.
How long have you stood us for, bro?
Yeah, what I've standing Mac for just a few years has been a lot.
Look at
Now,
you.
now,
Better person.
now,
I'm a better person. I said everyone loves this guy now. Look at this guy. Huh? Come on, bro.
Apparently, he's the nice one. After the podcast goes off, you will know the real Akulu.
We're done. So, it's a wrap. Yeah, check it out.
We're out.